Dear students, welcome to LIC's Trending Topics. Recently, Environment Pollution Prevention Control Authority, that is EPCA, declared a public health emergency in New Delhi. Why it was declared? It was because Air Quality Index, that AQI, it fall under the severe category of 500 falls. Today, our topic of discussion is air pollution. What are the causes of air pollution? What are the effects of it? So, what are the measures that government has taken out in order to address the air pollution? We'll try to understand in this topic. In this image, you can see the stubble burning that is done by the farmers. The people protesting, saying that breathing Delhi air is killing me. The smog during the morning hours of the Delhi. The winter wherein students are not able to go to their schools. And a old age person trying to walk in the morning but is nose covering. This indicates the level of air pollution that has happened in Delhi. What is air pollution? Air pollution is introduction of chemicals or the particulate matter that cause damage to the natural environment. So what are the major air pollutants apart from carbon dioxide? See, carbon dioxide is produced because of burning of fossil fuel and deforestation. Then we have sulfur dioxide, which is because of vehicular emissions and electric utilities. It is basically produced because of the sulfur containing fossil fuels. Then we have this nitrogen oxide or nitrous oxide, which is the source of fossil fuel and biomass burning. It is primarily because of the automobile combustion engine it is being produced. Then we have particulate matter. Particulate matter is nothing but suspended and solid liquid particles like dust, soot, ash vehicles, combustions, wear or tear on the tires. See here, very important thing is this particulate matter size. It is PM10 and PM2.5. See, as and when the size decreases, the chances of this getting and going and accumulated in the lungs, it will be high. So that's where it affects our respiratory systems. Then we have carbon monoxide, which is produced because of the motor vehicle exhaust, tobacco smoking and the crop burning. So these are the major air pollutants. This image depicts the sources of air pollution. 45% of the air pollution is happening because of the dust and the construction sector. Then we have 17%. Next, second highest is because of the waste burning that's happening. Third highest is because of the transportation sector, that is around 14%. And 9% is because of the diesel generators what we are trying to use. Then 8% is because of the industries. And domestic cooking is a cause of around 7%. So let's understand what are the causes of air pollution. The first one is stubble burning. Stubble burning after October and November in the Haryana, Punjab and UP, they burn the leftover crop residues, okay, thereby causing around 45% of the pollution levels. That is particularly increasing the high particulate matter concentration. So almost 35 million tons of crops have been burnt like this. Then second most important cause is vehicular emission. So Delhi has more than 9 million registered vehicles. According to CPCB and NEERI, vehicular emission has been declared as one of the major contributor to the Delhi's increasing air pollution. And then the third reason is high density of population. So with more than 11,000 people per square kilometer, Delhi is one of the most densely populated cities in the world because of overpopulation which had up to the various types of pollution. Then the other biggest thing is construction activities. See, large scale apartments, malls, everything is getting constructed in and around the Delhi NCR region. Because of that, it has increased the dust particles and the pollution in the air. Delhi also has been one of the landfill sites for dumping of waste. Burning of waste in these landfill sites is being the other important contributor to the air pollution. Thermal power plant and industries are also being the increasing sources of the air pollution. Then firecrackers. Despite there is a ban on the cracker sales in 2017, there has been always a common sight of Diwali celebration. It is a major reason of smog in Delhi after the Diwali. So that's the reason we went on to the green crackers. Despite the ban, the Delhi people asked the court asking for a 2 hours permission to celebrate the Diwali festival. Then apart from that, the dust storm from the Gulf countries. This dust storm is considered to be one of the biggest responsible factor for Delhi air pollution, saying that according to a study, there was around 40% increase in the level of pollution because of the dust storms. The next cause is diesel generators. It caused around 15% of the city's air pollution because a large number of housing societies and the businesses resort to the usage of diesel generators as an alternative to the power cut. Okay, then lack of infrastructure. See, in India, investment in the public sector and infrastructure is very low. Because of this, there is a congested roads, and that's whereby causing the air pollution to increase. Then the last but not the least factor, that is the weather. In winters, the air gets stagnated. They are not able to move across the place. Because of that, the air getting locked in one particular place results in the smog. Having understood the causes of air pollution, what are the effects of air pollution? It is the fifth largest killer in India. It kills around 1.5 million people every year. According to World Health Organization air quality data, Delhi is world's most polluted city and world's highest death is happening because of the chronic respiratory diseases and the asthma. Apart from the health results, it also causes an environmental impact, like it reduces the visibility, it causes the acid rain and formation of ozone gets intensified with this air pollution. Here, with this image, we can understand how air pollution has been a silent killer according to the World Health Organization. Globally, it is estimated that 4.2 million premature deaths are happening because of the heart stroke, chronic obstruction pulmonary disease, lung cancer, acute respiratory infections in children are linked to the ambient air pollution. That is around 43% death is happening because of the pulmonary diseases, 29% is because of the lung cancer, and 25% is because of heart diseases, and 24% is from the stroke, and 17% is because of the lower respiratory infections. Okay. And having understood the impact of air pollution worldwide, let's understand what is this major factors for this public health concern. That is basically particulate matter, ozone, nitrogen dioxide and sulfur dioxide. Apart from this, PM 2.0 and PM 2.5, they are capable of penetrating very deep into the lung passage, okay, and entering even the bloodstream, because of which the cardiovascular and cerebrovascular and respiratory impact can happen. Then it can increase the asthma in children and adults. Then when the maternal exposure or a mother is exposed to the ambient air pollution, then it will have adverse impact on the birth outcomes such as low birth weight, preterm birth and the small gestational age birth. Emerging evidence will also suggest that people who are exposed to the high levels of air pollution can develop neurological air pollution along affecting the health and environment. It is also costing us around 3% of GDP in terms of the health cost. And it has gone to that extent that doctors have started declaring the situation as a public health emergency. So having understood the causes of it, what are the effects of it? Now let's understand what are the measures that government has taken to address this issue. The first of all, it is stubble burning. We are all well aware that Punjab, UP people are burning stubble. To prevent that, a turbo happy seeders have been provided to the people. So with this, they can reduce the stubble burning. And government also started procuring the stubbles for biofuels and the waste to energy plants. Then ban on the burning of leaves is also done in the Delhi. Then how to address vehicular pollution? The government has brought an odd even policy. The odd even policy means on the odd days, odd number of vehicles has to be brought out and they'll be given the parking facilities. And then on even days, only even vehicles are allowed to transit. Then overloaded and non-restrained trucks are blocked from entering the Delhi. Then Supreme Court has ordered for imposition of something called as green tax or environmental compensation charge. See here, it's a policy measure that is taken to control the activities that affect the environment. It is a kind of cess, okay, but it doesn't have any legislative backup. That is to tax the people who are polluting the atmosphere. Then April 2020 has been considered as a deadline for implementation of the Bharat Stage 6 norms. So therefore, the vehicular pollutions would definitely reduce with respect to BS6. Then, construction of eastern and western expressways for bypassing the non-destined traffic in India. See, what happens is, when they have to travel to the eastern and western parts, Delhi has been a common commuting point. So, by connecting this expressway, they are trying to bypass the Delhi. Thereby, they can reduce the pollution across the Delhi. Apart from that, National Air Quality Index has been put come across with 8 pollutants, that is PM 2.5, PM 10, ammonia, lead, nitrous oxide, sulfur dioxide, ozone, carbon monoxide. One very important thing you have to remember is here we are not mentioning about carbon dioxide. Okay. This will continuously monitor the air quality over here. Whenever it crosses the severe level, then immediately an alternative measures or a graded response action plan will be imposed. Then major industries which has been polluting been made mandatory to have an continuous monitoring air pollution devices so that air pollution from these industries could be reduced. Then very important thing is the graded response action plan. It's an emergency response measure that is being taken up whenever there is a severe level of air pollution. Whenever an alarm is raised, in such a case all the schools will be shut. The government's laws and the schemes, the very important institution measure that has been taken up is Environment Pollution Prevention and Control Authority. It is constituted under Environment Protection Act 1986 for the NCR region. Its functions are to control the vehicle pollution, ensure the fuel quality standards are maintained, and coordinating the traffic planning and the management process. Other measures could be, instead of using the diesel generators and thermal power plants, we can shift on to the renewable energy, like either the solar power plants or the wind power plants, which could be more environmentally sustainable. And we can shift on to the electric vehicles under the FAME project so that the pollution levels could be controlled because of the vehicular emissions. The other measures suggested by Center for Science and Environment is Clean Air Action Plan. Under this, we need to identify the pollution hotspots in the Delhi. After identifying the pollution hotspots, we can go for imposition of the graded response action plan to address the health emergency. Then we need to have an action plan for all the sources of pollution. It may be a vehicular pollution, it may be a construction pollution, industrial pollution. For every source of pollution, we need to have an action plan so that in a time-bound manner, we can bring a systematic reforms and improve the air quality. Then it also suggests for the massive mobility transition, that is, we can go for a clean technologies like metros. Thereby, we can reduce our car trips and scale for an integrated transport system. Then, a paradigm shift has to be brought in the waste management. Okay, so that we can control the stubble burning or waste burning, construction waste, etc. Then we need to have a massive energy transition to bring in the clean fuels in the transportation sector, industry, power and households. So these are the action plan according to the Center for Science and the Environment. So then what does Niti Aayog says? Niti Aayog has brought in Niti Aayog's Breathe India Action Plan. According to this plan, it's also ranked top 10 most polluted cities and Delhi stands at the 6th. Then what is the measures that is being suggested by Niti Aayog? First, we need to phase out the private diesel vehicles by 2022. Then all the central governments which are using the vehicles which are older than 15 years has to be phased away and electric vehicles has to be brought in place. Then electrifying the last mile connectivity by 2022 and decommissioning of all the thermal power plants around the most polluted cities in the 5 years timeline. Then waste processing should be intensified over the landfilling. Then mandate compulsory mechanized dust removal in the polluted cities and establish an accurate and comprehensive air quality monitoring systems in the worst affected cities by 2019. So these are the key suggestions given by the Niti Aayog's Breathe India Action Plan. In this video, we have tried to analyze what is air pollution, what are the causes of it, what are the major effects of it, then what are the measures that has been taken by the government in regard to it, and the last, be a part of the solution, not part of the pollution. Thank you.